Giancarlo Stanton, who's probably our number three outfielder at this point. Aaron Boone came out with a quote that we want him to
I
play
guess.
40, 50, 60 games in the outfield, and then he's going to DH the rest of the time. I mean, he's someone who's locked into being in our everyday lineup at least, who I want to talk about. Giancarlo had a really interesting year last year. I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about Giancarlo being an outfielder, being in our lineup? What do you think that's going to look like for this year?
I've always been in the boat that he performs better and he's healthier when he plays the outfield. Um,
Yep.
it all it takes with him is just one weird, funky play. They're running the bases or playing the field where he tweaks something and he's out for a while. So you're inclined to keep an eye on that and inclined to worry about it constantly. And I'm going to chalk up last season as an aberration for him because I don't think that he is a 16, 17 hitter, whatever he ended up with. I think he's a lot better of a player than that. That's by far his career low. And I want to say that he was playing through some injuries throughout the season, and he was grinding, and he knew that, and he was probably frustrated by it. He still managed to pop 32 homers, but at the same time, like the production was down. He's never dropped below an 800 OPS since he's been like an established big leaguer. So there was something going on there, and I mean, he still hits the hell out of the ball, and throughout the spring training, like he hasn't had the best average necessarily, but he's hit some really hard baseballs, and I mean the exit velo's there. He's always going to hit it on the line. It's just a matter of how much they want to put him in, I guess, right field now that you have Waldo, who's a little bit more movable in terms of moving him around the outfield positions. And then Judge is going to be willing to play left field, which takes a lot of pressure off of Giancarlo having to play out there. I think if you see Judge in left, you're almost automatically seeing Stanton right. You might see Oswaldo
Definitely.
there as well, but I think that's where it's going to head. But yeah, I just hope he stays healthy, and we need his bat in there. That's where I'll put it because he is one of the clutch premier postseason performance of me, like most recent memory.
Yeah, and last year I believe it was an aberration as well. I mean, we look at his first half and he won the All-Star game MVP and he was like a solid deserving All-Star last year.
Yeah.
Um through 76 first half games, he had 24 homers and 61 RBI. So as someone in the middle of the lineup, I mean, he was doing his job. He was getting runs in a lot. He only hit about 240 in that time, which is right in line with what we expect from him. His second half, he was hurting a lot, only 34 games,
Yeah.
7 homers, a 150 batting average. That's really, really bad. And I think a lot of the times he was only playing because the team was so, so bad. And we just desperately needed any sort of high-end production out of him. We needed someone who could drive Aaron Judge in when he was on base.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we hope to see a full season from him. I mean, last year he had a bad season and he stumbled into 32 homers, 31 homers.
Yeah.
Um, it's elite what he can do power wise. Yeah.
And projections wise, like I don't love this projection. It's 80% reliability from Baseball Reference, 26 homers, 73 rubies, 239 average, 776 OPS. I just feel like that's low for him still at this point in his career. I can think he can do a lot better than that.
Yeah.
What I would love to see is what he and Judge replicated in 2021, or what they did in 2021, where they both stayed healthy and they both had over 35 homers and like were around 260 to 270. Obviously, we just talked about how Judge is going to do a lot better than that, but if we can get that kind of production out of Stan, 38 homers, 90 rubies, 260 to 270 average, or like 250 to 270, whatever it may be, with an over 800 OPS, I think that we're good.